Hello, welcome to another episode of Talkin Rangers. Today is Tuesday, December 3rd. This is episode 47 of the Talkin Rangers podcast. Disappointing times. If you're a New York Rangers fan, they have lost 6 of their last 7 games, 5 straight prior to the Canadiens loss, or Canadiens win rather, on Saturday. Blowout loss last night, not even competitive against the Devils. Forget playoffs, forget Stanley Cup. That word shouldn't even be brought up on this podcast right now. I mean, this team is pathetic. Really no other way to put it at this point in the season. They are 13, 10, and 1, barely in a playoff spot right now. They are right now 4th in the Metro. And you look at the wild card right now, 27 points on the season. Tied with the Flyers in terms of points. They do have a game in hand. Tampa just on the outside with 26 points. They have a game in hand, though, on the Rangers. So a little early there from a playoff perspective, but this team's got a lot of problems. Joe, how's it going, man?
Yeah, I mean, this team sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they do.
There's really nothing else to. All right, that was it was a good episode.
Yeah. No, yeah, we could end it there. If we're being honest, there's not a whole lot more to say with this team other than probably more ranting than anything. But last night was horrible. I think we could kind of get straight to it, right? They fall down 4-0 last night. That was brutal. We don't even have to break down that game. Like, everybody knows what happens. They played like garbage. They came out flat again. Something about this team early in games coming out flat. Even the game they won against the Canadiens, Quick had to pretty much stand on his head late in the game. They blew it late. They had a chance to kind of just run away with that one. There was a close game for no reason. So they barely got a win against a Canadiens team that's not really any good. So at home too. So that wasn't even that impressive. But this core needs a shakeup. Like we've been saying, it's just so frustrating because we talked about it, I know, a lot just off air now, but for the viewers now, this is something that should have been done after they lost to the Panthers last season, where, I know we lined it up off air, but if basically everything that happened during the Gallant years is happening now, in terms of who they played in the first round, second round, Carolina, then another Florida team, kind of a previous really good team with the Capitals. Same thing with the Penguins back in 2022. Everything lining up. And here we are again. This feels a lot like 2022, 2023, where at best this team's a first round exit. And I think this team's a lot worse than that team because, I don't think you really see any even sort of win streak coming anytime soon. It's ugly. They need to shake this up. They should have did it in the offseason. They should have made more moves in the offseason. There should be guys that's on this team right now that shouldn't even be on the team, but Insanity's doing the same thing over and over again. So they repeated everything that they've been doing. And here we are. They are a bad hockey team that's not anywhere close to probably the furthest they've been to competing for a Stanley Cup since they started this whole rebuild and brought in this new core and gave this thing another crack at it. What are your thoughts there?
The scariest part is that you can make an argument that this is the worst team in the NHL. I mean, they get dominated by was it 6 out of last 7?
I mean, they barely beat the Canadiens, who are the worst team in the
Canadiens
Eastern Conference.
They might have outplayed the Rangers, I think.
Yeah.
You need a power play goal at the end of the game. Barely beat the Canadiens. I mean, they had 3 power play goals in that game itself. So 1 5-5 goal there. Didn't score a 5-5 goal last night. They don't score 5-5. They keep reshuffling the lines and pairs. Doesn't do anything. I mean, still the same players. No accountability. We're kind of talking about this off air, but I think we both kind of. You maybe think more so at the end of the season. I think in the middle of the season where we could probably see Lovelet being fired. I don't know. I think that they you can't put out this not like a notice, put everybody on notice. We're like, oh, we're gonna trade everyone, and then not do it because then you're screwed. Because Drury probably thought, oh, I'm gonna say this, we're gonna turn it around, and just gonna light a fire under them, but it really hasn't done anything. They've been playing worse, you could say, after that like where he was like trading, open for trade with these guys. So you can't just sit there and do nothing, and he probably will. Zibanejad, I mean, I don't even want to talk about him anymore. He's just not a good hockey player. He's washed. He doesn't deserve to play the power play. He doesn't deserve to play the penalty kill. I know he's good, okay, in the penalty kill. I just don't care. He should be getting ice time, regardless. And then people are like, oh, who are you going to play instead of him? I don't care. I mean, there could be nobody worth 8 points or less. Like whoever's worth, like the money wise, like it doesn't like you can translate that where it's like Brzezinski's probably a worse player, but he's not making $8.5 million.
Yeah.
At least Brzezinski's going to forecheck hard and he's going to give 100% effort, whereas Zibanejad is soft and doesn't. I don't care who you play. Like you could play freaking Matt Rempe in this spot. I don't care. He doesn't deserve to play on this team. He doesn't deserve power play time. They have no accountability for players that have consistently played bad. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. He showed a little bit of accountability. He didn't want to say it last night, but where he benched Panarin and Hedl for like the end of that first period. But I mean, are you really going to bench Hedl and Panarin, two guys that have actually been playing well? And then you can consistently let the other guys like Kreider and Zibanejad slide for bad play. It doesn't make any sense. The defense sucks. They can't defend the rush. A team like the Devils will kill them. Miller's terrible. Trouba's terrible. Lindgren's terrible. I mean, they just all suck. Lindgren and Trouba are washed. They can't skate anymore. They can't move. Okay, you can play them on like the penalty kill, but that's about it. Miller can't defend either blue lines well. Fox doesn't look great this year either. Hasn't scored a goal. Kreider's got no assist. He looks disengaged. I know that he's like hurt, I guess, but he's still like.
I'll I'll be honest. I know I don't even know if he's hurt or how much of that was trade, injury, whatever. But
he's just
and I've always what was that?
He's just soft. He doesn't get
like ever. I've always said this about like just players being hurt. It's one thing if guys are really, really hurt and they're fighting through it, but and this isn't just you, this is like just in general, just me. Like I don't think that everybody's always like when a guy's struggling and they're like, oh, he might be hurt. He's playing with injury.
Yeah. That's what the Panarin excuse was in 2022 playoffs. Oh, he must have been hurt.
Yeah, but it's just like it's always
stop using.
They just stink. They stink. I mean, Kreider's he's a net goblin. That's
has
what
Kreider been hurt for the last 7 years? You know, he's been the same player.
And essentially, Kreider got hurt in the Carolina series. Then after that game, then that's when he got hurt.
That was the only game he wasn't. He actually was hurt the whole playoffs except that game. Like that game was like, you know what? Feeling pretty good tonight. I'm not hurt tonight. Yeah, he bandaged up, put a med kit on before the game.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's terrible. He's not. He just doesn't give. He can't stick handle. He can't forecheck. He can't cycle. He can sit in front of the net and you know screen the goal in and maybe deflect one in, but he can't pass the puck. He doesn't. I mean, he's okay defensively. Like you can put Zibanejad in there too, like okay defensively, but Zibanejad can't shoot a one-timer anymore if he saves his life. Can at the net. I mean, oh wow, he scored a power play goal, first of the season finally after what 20-something games. Yeah. I mean, he does essentially nothing. Panarin has been a little bit worse, I feel like, but you know what? I can't blame Panarin because he had been playing well, and just it's hard by for him to keep consistently playing well when the whole team sucks. Maybe attribute that to a little Lafreniere's play kind of dipping a little. I mean, again, you can say that too, where it's like he's playing well, but just seeing the whole team playing bad kind of, you know, it's contagious. I think Trocheck hasn't been good at all this year either. I just not many bright spots on the team right now, you know, like, I don't know.
No, I mean, you're paying, there's going to be no bright spots really on a team that you're paying all this money to. You've got, you know, Mika, you've got a ton of big names. You got a lot of guys with talent, and you're 13-10-1. You're barely above NHL 500. That's pathetic. And you're barely beating teams like the Canadians. You're
Sharks,
you know, the Sharks. You're losing games against the Flyers, which was an awful performance. It took them pretty much the entire first period to even get.
They should have lost like 10-1 in that game.
Oh, they should have. Yeah, if Igor didn't stand on his head, they would have been down 5-0 going into the first intermission.
Yeah,
and again, the same culprits.
And he's not been good at all this year, Igor. For the people that want to pay him $12 million are stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I think especially now, even if Igor was still playing well, I think just the way this season is going should show you that they can't invest that they can't allocate that money to a goaltender just because of how bad everything else is. Everything now in front of them is like officially burning to the ground. We've seen this now for a while. We even saw it, even last year, the Eastern Conference Finals, of course, where this team fell apart late in terms of not being able to score. And, Igor did as much as he could. And that was the whole conversation going into the year is like, do you move on from Igor, allocate assets elsewhere, and have kind of average goaltender, but a really good defense in front of them, a team that can score, a team that could score deep in the playoffs, guys they're going to show up in the playoffs, whatever. We've been down that road, but I think now more than ever, there's no defending it. Not just because he's not not only because he's not playing well, but also the team in front of him needs so much more work. That giving him $12 million is going to just
for a rebuilding team.
For a rebuilding team, it's just going to set you back.
That is stupid.
Yeah. I know we said this off air, but you'd rather give Quick kind of a 1-year like rental deal for a rebuilding team as opposed to making Igor one of the highest paid goaltender for a team that's not going to make the playoffs for, a retooling team maybe the next year or two, whatever, however long or slow that retool goes. But yeah, it's awful. I'm just so sick of this core. Like I said, it should have been done last year after the Panthers loss, but they're so soft. You can't criticize them. You can't hold them accountable. Like they're Mika soft, Kreider soft. Their feelings get hurt so easily. Even Trouba. And I know, look, the guy's making $8 million. They should have gotten rid of him during the offseason. Like you can't go out there, basically say you're trying to trade him, not trade him. You had the whole his wife had the whole residency here, whatever. Not that matters. It's a business. You're not any more special than anybody else, but. They're just such a soft bunch. Not only with the way they play, they are all soft. In terms, none of them bring physicality, but emotionally, they're soft too.
Yeah.
Like any little thing you say about them, it hurts their feelings. Like even now, you hear all these reports that the Kreider trade rumors and the Trouba trade rumors, or the stuff that Drury pushed out. Which, by the way, I think a lot of Rangers fans should be frustrated with him too. I don't think he's done a very good job. And I think more now than ever, he's kind of fumbling. Like if he's going to make a move, if he's going to do something, he's got to do it now. He can't put it out there and then not do anything and see this season just completely slip away and see the same players.
That'd be funny though. No, if he says it now, does nothing, and then they just suck.
Yeah, well, but that's the point. It's like he said a week ago. Wasn't it a week ago? It was like last Tuesday, I think, was when this report came out, I believe, because it was towards the end of the because Kreider sat out the Carolina game, Philly, and he was back for Montreal, right? Those 2 games I think he missed.
I don't think he played against the Blues.
Maybe he didn't play against the Blues either. So it was after the Edmonton game. It was like that during the Canada trip.
I think it was
when when the initial report came out. And now he had the whole injury. How much, I don't even know. But like if you can't put it out there and not trade them. But that's besides the point. You hear the rumors, you hear that, and you hear all these reports now that, it's gotten into the locker room. Guys are upset about that report.
They should be.
Yeah, but it's just they're so sensitive. Like,
but do you think they must not know that they're playing bad? That's why.
That's the problem. They're all upset now that Drury's trying to shake things up. When can they not see it that this team needs something or start playing better?
Yeah, exactly.
Business.
Yeah, it should be that simple. Where it's like we're not playing good. How to solve it? Play better. Yeah. You don't want to get traded? Play better.
Yeah,
they're not just like trading them because I don't like this guy or
no, they're trading him because this core is rotten. The core is so rotten, and it's come to the end of the road. I guess let's go through the list. Players that could be here long term, players that shouldn't be. Now, you think Coach Peter, and I think you just mentioned this a little bit ago, won't get to the new year?
No, I think it's can. If they lose 2 more games in a row, he's gone.
You think so?
Yeah, he'll be
Now the
gone.
Rangers have a history. They're
If
not afraid to pull the trigger and fire
if
people
they
in the
lose
season, but
Friday and I believe they play Sunday, he's gone.
yeah.
He'll be gone on Monday.
I could see it. I could see them. I don't think he'll get fired. I could be wrong. I mean, would it be the worst thing if he gets fired? It
I'm
doesn't even.
impartial. I don't care either way.
It doesn't. He's gonna get. It's either he gets fired now or he's gonna get canned at the end of the season because this team's either not gonna make the playoffs or they're gonna get smoked in the first round. So he's on the Gallant route anyway, where he's gonna be a goner after year 2, whether that be now or in May, April, because his team won't even get to May. But these next 3 games, though, I could see where you're coming from. Like the 3 teams that they are playing over the next 3 are bad. It's the If they lose to the Penguins, the Kraken, and the Blackhawks all at home, somebody's heads might roll. I could see that. After looking at it from that perspective, I could see it. But you just got Devils fans just took over MSG, and now you're going to lose games to 3 teams that aren't even sniffing the playoffs right now. Maybe, but
Worst case scenario
it's
is
not the coach, though. It's not even the coach. You could bring any coach in here. You could bring in whoever the heck you want in here. It's the players. It's this core. They stink. We've now seen it. We're going on year 4 of this. But
I mean, worst case scenario though is that they play all these shitty teams, they beat them, and they're like, oh, we're back. Like, oh, we beat the Blackhawks, we beat the Kraken,
Canadians.
Like it's like no, it doesn't matter. Like whoever you could go out and beat the Panthers, this team is still going to be the same team. So, the sample size outweighs the 1 or 2 games that you play good. So
yeah. Oh, I mean, this team's got to do a lot to get the fan base, I think, bought back in. I mean, they've got to go on a legitimate. I mean, I don't think they can get anybody bought back in from a cup perspective.
They can win the remainder of the games of the season. I still don't believe in this core.
So if they win every other game the rest of this season,
I still don't no. It's what I mean. Like we know what they are.
Yeah, they're going to collapse in the playoffs at some point.
There's players where it's like
I would take a 58-game win streak though, just for the vibes.
Yeah,
but then they win 58 straight and they get bounced. They get losing 5 in the first round.
The thing is, like, there's still players that you can argue that still have room for where they can get better, like Cooley, obviously, Hudel, Lafreniere, Kakko, Berard, maybe Fox a little. I mean, I haven't been too impressed with his skating. I think he's, regressing as a skater. But then there's like most of the guys, like they are what they are. Kreider, Panarin, Zibanejad, Trouba, even Trocheck to some extent, where like they're already kind of what they are. Yeah. So there's nothing that I can really change about my opinions on the team where we've already seen, the story before.
Yeah. No, yeah, 100%. I mean, we've seen this now. This is, like I say, going on year 4 of this. But I mean, you look at the roster, guys right now that are probably gone long-term wise, and we could probably talk about this too more as the season goes on and if they do make changes middle of the year or make a trade. But like the core guys of Kreider, Mika, they've got to go.
Yeah, I mean, they should have been gone in the offseason.
Yeah. Who do you think right now is like the worst? I don't want to say in terms of like just expectations wise, what he should be doing, the worst player on this team. I think it's Mika. Because even Trouba, as bad as he's been, the expectation for Trouba going into this year after everything in the offseason, he wasn't even that great last year.
It's a tough thing. I mean, I think you can also put in Trocheck into there. Well, he hasn't been as bad because I expected a lot of.
I expect a lot more.
I didn't expect shit out of Zibanejad, but he's been way worse than I thought he was. So I have probably Zibanejad just because how bad he's been.
Yeah. Oh, he's been awful. He's been he's been a non-factor. But I agree with you on that. Trocheck's been a lot more disappointing than some of the other guys.
We had a lot of a lot of optimism for him.
Yeah, exactly. And he felt like one of these guys that was one of the good pieces of this core. Like, is a good physical player, can provide some offense.
Plays
He was
well in
like
the playoffs.
plays well in the playoffs. He's the opposite of a Kreider and Mika right now. That same thing with Panarin as well, not showing up in the postseason. Trocheck is the complete opposite of that, but he's been disappointing this year, no doubt. And it feels like you kind of been waiting for him to break out of it, and it hasn't happened. I would say it's me. Mika's like, you even see when they got into that scrum against the Blues, I believe it was, he was just like circling around the
He doesn't care. He's soft.
he's
He doesn't
checked out
care.
because
Yeah.
his best friend is getting shopped.
Maybe they go
His
together.
hugging buddy.
Maybe they go together. Imagine.
Hey, I'd be down. I'd be 100%. Ship them both to, I don't even care. Send them both to the freaking Blackhawks and let them rot there.
Oh, I would feel bad for whoever takes those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give us Connor Bedard.
That's his advantage.
Give us a Berard.
Berard. Brassard. Bring back Brassard.
Yeah.
Even though he's tired.
The future of the Rangers. Little past, we've got past and future. We just don't have present.
Yeah.
So, although, I mean, Bedard is good now. He's kind of present future.
He's been off to a little bit of struggling stuff.
Yeah, he hasn't.
He'll get there.
Yeah, he hasn't had that.
I think he'll be a good player.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But Kreider, Mika, Trouba sucks. Lindgren can't. I think I could skate better than Lindgren. Like, I could. Yeah. He's so slow, old, washed, cooked, hurt, whatever you want to say. He's probably a mix of all of them. He's probably not healthy. He never is healthy.
Yeah.
He's old. He's washed. So Lindgren, Trouba, Miller, and we mention it a lot, but against the rush, like the Devils, those teams, they just feast on them because they're terrible against the rush. They get behind them so easily, and it's the same repeated problems that we've seen for a while now. Trouba tried to create the spark against Montreal.
Wow, well, good job.
It worked, but that was about it.
Good job, Trouba.
He got beat, though, in that.
Yeah, he didn't win that fight.
No.
No way.
Not at all. Do you think a trade happens?
Probably not. I think the next.
So you think Coach Peter gets canned before a trade?
Well, yeah, I think it'll be a firing before any trade. I don't know.
Now Drury doesn't survive this either.
I think
at the end of the season.
I think he'll go at the end of the year.
Yeah, they're not gonna fire him now. I guess the good apples, if you like the good pieces to this team, Cooley, Laugh, Kako, Hedel.
I mean, it's all the young guys.
Yeah, I like Edstrom. Fox hasn't had his best year, but you still got to keep him around. Schneider's, Jones. That's about it. And then, Berard. He's not hurt, but Berard.
I guess if he eventually makes his way up.
Perot, yes. Perot, most likely, next season?
I hope so.
Yeah. And then Igor's gone. Igor's been you think it's just like, I don't know. You think his ability, like he's just getting, I don't know the phrase to use, but just sick of having to like stand on his head. It's a lot of softies.
Maybe he's checked out where he's like, I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah, you wonder if that is part of it. The locker room is checked out. You wonder now if it's gotten to Igor where he's just like, I'm checked out. I'm not going to just keep standing on my head just to lose these games. And now he's playing like garbage. I can't believe that this team started the year 5-0-1. And it was like, we all knew this regular season was going to be really one of the most meaningless regular seasons ever, following up a President's Trophy and all that stuff last year. But hey, you did say you wanted them to hit adversity.
I mean,
so
I don't know if it's adversity. I mean, this is like,
or is this full tank?
This is just this team's bad.
Yeah, this is.
I don't think that they're playing bad. I think they're bad.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
No, it does.
This is not. I don't think this is not a good team playing bad. This is just a bad team playing bad.
So last year, January was a good team playing bad. Although hindsight 2020, it's probably a bad team playing bad because it's pretty much the same team. But
They were better last year, though. I think even though, like, Zibanejad was just awful, but I mean, there was other guys playing really well, like
yeah, I mean, you had
Panarin,
Trocheck playing well.
Trocheck, Kreider's still playing pretty well at
Crowder
that
was
point.
playing well.
Mhm.
And I don't think they ever lost 5 in a row last year.
No,
I think the most they got to was what, 4, I think it was.
yeah,
Because I think the 4th wasn't it that Capitals game, and then it was the back-to-back against the Capitals, and then they won the next day, I think it was.
yeah. I think Kaka returned to that game too.
Yeah, I think that was the and then they went on a heater in February.
Jeez,
And that was
scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
It's almost as scary as the Rangers.
is that Coach Peters? Somebody breaking into Coach Peters' car?
I'll mute it. You can continue now.
No. Yeah, I mean I don't really have anything else to say. Just in terms of last year, like February, they went on that heater. And I'm sure this team will probably do that at some point this season, like they did in 2023 or 2022. After Trouba threw his helmet, they went on that 8-game win streak, I think it was. This year, I'm sure they're going to go on a stretch. It might be this week. It might be they might they might win their next 4. Like they could probably do that. As bad as they're playing, they can beat Pittsburgh, Seattle, Chicago, and Buffalo's playing better, but they could beat Buffalo even as bad as they're playing. And
I don't
then
know. Last time they played Buffalo, they got killed.
yeah, you are right. That felt like the well. Then they fought. Then Quick had that shutout. Yeah, the last time they did play Buffalo, they got.
We also could talk about at what point do we kind of see like the shift go? This happened last year, where Quick starts playing more games. I think I'm in favor of that.
Oh, I am. I could see it. I mean, he'll definitely get action this Seattle Chicago game because it's a back-to-back. Could they go quick?
They play Sunday, Monday.
Yeah.
All right.
Could they go?
Quick
And then they
Friday.
play Saturday, Sunday next week. They play another back-to-back next week. They got a ton of back-to-backs because they got to catch up on games. To start this season, they've played so little games up until this.
Thank God, right? We don't have to watch this team till Friday. Yeah. Nice 4-day break, Tuesday, Wednesday, and they're out. Well, I guess 3 days.
3-day break at this point.
But then the 4th day, they play.
Yeah. I mean, these games are so bad though. Towards the end of them, you're like half watching. Right, like last night. I mean, I was watching it, but like you're checked out. You're kind of just sitting there.
After the first
you're
period,
sitting there, not really moving. You're kind of just.
Essentially, the game is over like 5 minutes into the game.
Once Bratt scored the first goal, he scored what, a minute and 20 seconds in. Once he scored that first goal, it was.
This is the second goal. I would say ended the game.
Well, yeah, the second goal ended it, but the first one kind of set the tone that it was probably going to be a long night.
Then like
because I mean, heck,
they
even if that was the only goal Bratt scores, this game's going overtime.
Yeah, and they probably lose.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Instagram goals, right?
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on that?
We just shut up. All the Ranger fans and just everybody shut up. Like
I like Valley too. Like,
I
like him.
He's awesome. But like
that wasn't probably his best moment. It was. There's a time and the place for that. That was not the moment. The team's getting smoked.
When this team's playing terrible, and we're gonna like come on.
Team's getting smoked. There's no going after Jack Hughes is the worst thing you could do, especially with that Devils fan base. Like they defend that guy to the freaking moon. If that even makes sense, but which rightfully so. He's their young core piece, but that's the worst. In that situation, you're getting smoked. Heck, the broadcasters, can we take accountability here? Instagram goals, just state straight up, team sucks right now. Even they're lacking that. There's nothing going right with this team.
Yeah, I think that Sam Rosen's a little too. He's been a little too easy on. He's got to be harder on this team.
Yeah, I mean I feel bad for Sam Rosen. They don't deserve to set him out. Like at least the Yankees with John Sterling, at least they gave him a World Series. Yeah. I mean, they gave him the 5th inning, the call, but at least they gave him a trip to the World Series and at least they won a game. This team, they're going to have Sam Rosen leaving the booth in freaking early April with no playoffs. That's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be giving. It's sad. They're not even sending him out the right. This was supposed to be the Sam Rosen, like one final trip all the way to the cup just for Sam.
Whatever. I don't know. I just amount of that I care about this team is considerably gone down to like really low levels. Just like
What
it's
will
just
make you this year buy back in for this season? Anything like a if they
maybe if we
traded?
get
See,
McDavid,
if they get McDavid,
if we get
realistic.
McDavid, I'm back in. Realistically, I
Crosby.
don't know.
What if they get
Um,
Crosby?
he doesn't want to play for the Rangers, so that's not realistic. Um, I don't know. There really isn't any moves where I could really buy back
What
in.
if they
I
get
think
Gretzky out of retirement?
they would have to they would have to really shake it up and then just show me sustainable hockey, which a lot of the guys that I want them to get rid of, they can't. Like Zibanejad can't get traded because of his contract.
Yeah.
So
So if they traded, let's say tomorrow, they traded Kreider and Trouba somewhere,
I feel a little bit better. I feel
you
like
would start. Yeah,
Zibanejad could be a bigger problem though.
he could be a bigger problem, but at least it's like a message and a shakeup, and at least it's somewhat of accountability. Like we traded two guys that are not playing well, two guys that should not even be on this team.
I think buyback
Like I feel
in
like you got to start with
well
getting
buyback
rid of the
in
dead meat.
can be a term that you can take two ways though. Like I can buy back into the team in general if they start trading team players and making smart hockey moves where it's like, okay, I can see what they're doing, not as far as just buying back into them winning, but buying back into them trusting the future of this team. So not I
Yeah, that's
essentially
true.
don't think there's a really a move where I could buy back into them saying where it's like I think they could win now.
Yeah,
Where I could
but
buy back
future
in.
wise,
Yeah, where I could be like, all right, well, you know what, that's a good move. They can kind of, right some wrongs here, get the young guys going and get rid of players that shouldn't be on the team. Essentially I'll buy back in, but like I'm saying, not as far as buy backing into this team winning. I just I don't think that's possible.
yeah. No, I agree. I would a trade might maybe I don't know would maybe get me to say like I
It'd
don't
be
know
like
maybe it sends a
it'd be like a
message.
sugar high. You get all like the
Yeah,
all
you would
like the
get
energy
they
right
would
away.
win. They would probably win, and they would get like the new similar to a new coach bump. They would get like the trade bump to win like the next two or something
And
after
it
the
would wear
trade,
off.
and then they'll wear off.
Yeah.
That's probably what'll happen. That's always what happens. That's why you figure this stuff out in the off season, not 4 games into this garbage.
They're taking after the Jets, making trades for players and signing players in season,
Yes,
firing the coach in season.
they would really be taking after the Jets if Drury and Coach Peter were out of here in a couple weeks.
That'd be so fun.
At least they'll finish with a general manager. They probably will finish the season with a GM.
Yeah, I don't think Joey gets fired.
I don't think Drury's going to get canned. Maybe Coach Peter gets canned. You're on the before. Hey, look, I wouldn't even. I would like. I don't even know how I would react if they fired him. It's not going to change anything. They could hire whoever the heck they want. I mean,
Yeah.
It's not gonna do a whole bunch. But
It's a long off season, right?
I don't know who would probably take over, Housley or Moose or
I don't know. I think Housley sucks.
one of them could take
Maybe
over.
Pekka.
They could Pekka, yeah.
I don't know. I don't really like Dan Muse either, but
I mean, you probably don't love any of them. Turn this team around. I don't. There's not a coach that can come in here right now and get this thing figured out with this core. So
they get like Cooper or Sullivan. I'd like that, but there's no chance those guys are going to get fired.
Yeah,
They should maybe they should have fired him and got Montgomery.
Yeah, they weren't going to do that. If they couldn't even trade Jacob Trouba, they were not going to fire that coach.
I just find it like absurd. I know we could just keep going over this. Is like they haven't played well ever since he made that statement and like released that to the media and stuff.
Yeah,
put that out there as far as like trading these guys, and then they're playing bad, and he's still not going to do it. That's absurd.
That's my biggest problem. And I said that when I did the YouTube short coming home from the game against the Flyers. I said that like if they were going to, that frustrates me more than anything. You can't put it out there and not do. Like you can't put it out there and not do anything about it.
He was hoping for like the bump where it's like, all right,
he was hoping for the
playing
bump.
bad, and it hasn't been
How
doing anything.
does he not recognize this locker room though is soft? They've taken that trade, and this locker room takes that trade as like an insult. They don't take it as like a wake up call. This team, Mika, Kreider, all these guys, this core that's rotten, they take it as, oh, he doesn't think we're good, or oh, he doesn't believe in us. And now they're all hurt, and now they're all in their feelings about it. That's what they take it as, in my opinion.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
that's why Drury, you can't. And that was the whole thing. Like even during that 5-game losing streak, there was at least like in the back of your mind, sort of a silver lining where it's like maybe these losses spark a change because he said it before this losing streak, and here we are. Or he said it during, but here we are, and he's not doing anything. So it falls on. And I look, I guess to a point from a locker room perspective, like Drury puts it out there and he doesn't do anything about it. I guess over time it could wear on you, but it's only been a week and a half. I mean, I don't know. I maybe too. There's nobody that wants these guys. That could be part of it too. I mean, there's been some reports that they've been shopping, but the market's pretty dead right now. It's pretty dry. I mean, who's gonna want Jacob Trouba in that right now?
Yeah,
I mean, I certainly wouldn't want Jacob Trouba or Kreider. I mean, I would take Kreider over Trouba. But I mean, the guy hasn't even logged an assist. Maybe let's log an assist first before we think about getting anything back.
Kreider assist or Fox goal? First, what happens first?
The two big droughts right now. Probably.
I think we already said this before, but I don't know what you said when we said that.
I still said a Kreider assist. Just because an assist they're both hard because of how this team's playing, and with Kreider being on a line right now with, of course, Riley Smith and Mika doesn't help him, but I still think an assist.
That line's so bad.
Yeah, I still think he can get himself into an assist. Hey, we haven't really had any conversations this year about like the right wing.
I mean, is that a good thing or a bad thing though?
I mean, well, instead of talking about the right wing, we're talking about the entire team sucking pretty much. So yeah. I would trade in. I would rather talk about the right wing for an entire season and talk about this personally. I'd rather Riley Smith be the only one struggling or them playing well, but the first line being a problem.
And they put back the modified kid line. I mean, the new kid, the new kid line, not the OG kid line.
Yeah,
but that line is one of the best lines in the league. The Hedel, Kako, Cooley,
and Cooley, the third line.
Then they put the Panarin line back together. But like I said earlier, that
it doesn't matter.
Just reshuffling players that are bad. It's not really like And
it's not like these are anything new. They're just going back to.
Yeah,
they tried new lines. Now they're going back to the stuff that wasn't working. So
I did like Berard, but I guess he's still banged up. So
yeah. I thought Berard. I mean, he had the goal. I mean, hey, look. He's a young guy. Yeah, he's a young guy. Brings some speed, brings some energy. I'd rather watch him play the final. Geez, we're not even halfway through. I'd rather him play the next 58 games and watch Trouba. You know? Even that too. Like, let's just say Kreider's was lower body, right?
No, upper body, I think.
Upper body. Let's just say Kreider. They sat him down because of his play or whatever. Can they just, or because of trade, whatever. This team is so soft. This organization lacks so much accountability. Like, they can't even admit that he's just getting scratched. They got to say, upper body or whatever. You get what I'm saying? Like,
they would never say that.
They wouldn't say it, but they do for these other guys when they scratch them.
Well, the young guys, yeah, because they don't care about the young kids. Like Kako, you're scratched. Lafreniere, you're scratched.
Why would it hurt Mika's feelings if they told him he was going to get scratched?
Yeah, he'd probably cry. He'd probably make
Kreider would cry too.
He'd make it like a diss track on like Lava.
I do have this to say. What if you scratch both Kreider and Mika so at least they could sit up in the press box together?
That's nice. Yeah, you can't really separate them. I do understand.
Right? That could be a culture changer.
They could be up, dude. Kreider could be up there being kind of like the supportive boyfriend, and then Mika could run the music, the DJ.
Yeah, exactly. And the Rangers be getting shelled 4-1.
No, it'd be good because they'd be pumped up with the good music that Mika's playing, so maybe they'll play.
Yeah, they know Mika's behind the aux.
Yeah. Mika's doing the aux at the Garden.
Yeah.
See, like we just thought of a great idea. Season's back on.
Yep. And Peter's still the coach.
Peter at this point would still be the coach.
Because Peter's gonna be proud because he helped those guys be like a two-way threat.
They can play, they play the music and like they can help out in the press box and they can. I don't really know what they're doing on the ice, but
no, of course not. They don't know what they're doing. Well, 40 minutes in. Any other thoughts?
I don't know. This team sucks.
Yeah,
That's
pathetic.
that.
Sucks.
We got nothing else. Just
Trash. Stinks. Any other
no
words?
accountability. My
No
real
accountability.
my problem is what I really want to see is just the young kids play.
Yeah.
They don't get a lot of power plays because they get outworked the whole game. They don't have the puck, but I truly believe they can help these kids grow and get better by giving them ice time as far as like special teams, penalty kill, power play. Like I would like to see Lafreniere and Kako and Cooley and Hedel get those power play minutes because at least you can develop those kids where you, like I already said, you already know what those old guys are.
Yeah.
I just, they want a shake up, but they want to shake things up, but they don't want to trade anyone. But then when they don't want to trade anyone, they won't bench people and make any changes. I don't get it. Like they should really take all those guys off the power play. What the hell?
Yeah.
Put Jones on the point. He can run the point. I'd go first power play unit every game from now on until they really start winning or whatever. Jones, Hedel, Kako, Lafreniere, Cooley. That'd be my power play unit.
I'd be down for that.
They won't do it though. They'll throw out, Panarin and Fox will make some good plays at the blue line, keeping the puck in. They'll sauce it over to Zibanejad. He'll miss the net. Kreider won't be able to retrieve it. Panarin will just try to force shots on net. They'll pass up on open shots. Like they don't have a good power play right now, and I don't understand what these guys have to do to get benched. Like if Zibanejad committed like 14 felonies, maybe he'd get benched.
Maybe.
Maybe if him and Kreider like rob a bank or something. I don't know.
Maybe possible.
I think they'd probably still play though.
They'd still play because it means that they're working for their money. Or
Yeah,
they would say something stupid.
It's just frustrating to me. Like
my brain's cooked.
I feel like we're just repeating ourselves most of these episodes now. It's just the same old shit. Different day, same shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I don't know. I got nothing. It's just frustrating, and my only thing that
today's episode, I feel like we talked.
I just want to see the young kids play. That's all I want to see. Give the young kids more playing time because they're the only ones playing well.
Yeah, today's episode, I feel like we talked as more of the team. Recently, we've just been kind of killing Mika.
Miller, Lindgren.
Yeah,
it's pretty
true.
But
today we talked more about like Kreider. We talked about Coach Peter getting fired.
You could have watched an episode like a month ago, and we pretty much said the same thing a month later.
I'm not even going to go down that road. It always feels like these organizations in every sport, the fans always know what they're talking about. Everything the fans say, they usually say it 2 months before the organization ever realizes it. Although this team hasn't even realized it yet, clearly, I guess, because they're not doing anything. So they must still think it's manageable. Coach Peter's press conferences have gone to a point now where it's like, it's just everything's empty. Like his words are, there's going to be no changes. He doesn't hold anybody accountable.
He says the same thing. Oh, we got to be better.
Everything. Yep.
I mean, Rangers got to be better for the last month. I feel like they said every press conference or interview. Well, we got to be better.
I don't know. I'm tired of them. I'm always tired of like Kreider after a game, like whispering. He always like whispers into the mic.
I was like,
just continue to show up. I think yesterday he said something like, "We just got to continue to show up. We just got to work. We're all frustrated."
And then Trojek's like, "Oh, I thought we played well." Did you see that? Trojek's, I know it doesn't look like it, but we played pretty well last night. We lost by 4. That's an improvement.
Trouba, I think after the Flyers game was something like, "Oh, we can't."
He's like, He's like, no, there's really nothing much else to say.
Yeah,
we know what we got to do. We got to play better.
And then Mika was, he's like, "Oh, I think everybody's the question was something about how they look like they're lacking urgency or they're lacking energy or they look like they don't care right now." And he's like, "Oh, I actually think it's the opposite.
Yeah, we're trying too hard.
We're trying too hard. We're gripping the sticks too hard."
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, you're gripping the sticks too hard, Mika. Maybe that's why you can't. Maybe that's why you're. It's too. This team fans on so many shots.
Yeah, they don't have the net.
They don't even get the puck off the ground right now. Forget about hitting the net. They don't even make contact with the puck. They're fanning.
Yeah, didn't Kreider fan on like a 2-on-1
Yeah, and
yesterday
then Mika missed the net.
against the
Mika
Flyers? Wide
Strome.
open net. For how bad they played,
Oh,
they could have went to overtime.
God. Yeah, they could have won that game because they played terrible in the first period. Second period was better. The Flyers aren't that good. They dominate the Flyers. That's when you know it's bad, when they lose to the Flyers.
Yeah, and Mika
They
doesn't
never,
score.
oh yeah, and Mika doesn't.
Hey,
Well,
listen,
he
listen.
should.
I have a 4 point lead now in the goals picks.
There's no even a pick right now for scoring goals. The
I
team
have 4.
sucks so bad you don't even know.
I have four. That's 4. 4
I
and
was
4.
gonna pick Panarin against Montreal. I should have. I knew, but laugh. He's got he had a good game last year against Montreal. He's had some success against them. I think this year he scored a goal too in that first game, the 7-2 game. He might have. I don't know. There was
I
so
don't
many
even
goals.
remember.
That was back when we thought this team
That was
was
a different
confident.
year, I think.
Yeah, that was a different year.
That was a different team.
That was a different time.
Yeah.
That was when Mika had the 5-on-5 goal to open up that game. That's when we thought this team could be manageable. But
Mika breakout.
yeah, in terms of the goals, because Panarin doesn't. We know this, but Panarin doesn't score against teams like the Devils. He just doesn't.
Good teams, yeah.
Yeah, good teams. He doesn't score. So I was gonna pick him against Montreal, but then I'm like, no, Lafreniere is definitely gonna score, and I was wrong. I should have went. I should have went Panarin against the Canadians, knowing he was gonna score, and then probably I don't know. Devils could have went like it wouldn't have mattered. I wasn't gonna pick Kreider, but I could have went like Cooley or somebody like that against the Devils. So
I don't know.
It is what it is. But I guess we can get into our goal scoring picks now that we're on the topic. We didn't do them for Pittsburgh, right?
No, we didn't do it. We can do the next 3 games.
Yeah, next 3 games. Let's do the next 3 before we hop on the pod again. Pittsburgh. Who wants to go first?
I can go, I guess.
All right.
I don't know.
Let's see. Who scored against Pittsburgh the first game of the season?
I mean, who even knows will still be on the team by then, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know I was talking to somebody about. There's a close friend of mine. He's a big Devils fan, and I was talking about the game last night today. And I'm saying if the Rangers are going to make a trade, they should do it. They should have did it They should have did it this morning, last night, after the game, whenever, because you've got this 3-day break where whatever new pieces you're bringing in, you can get them in the practice right away, and you can get them a couple days of work. Watch, they'll make the trade like an hour before the game, and we'll have freaking Chatteruito playing.
Well, he's back in the minors now, so I don't think that's going to happen.
So we'll call him up. Our roster will be freaking nothing on Friday.
I don't know. I'll go. I feel like Heedle's due for a goal. We'll go Heedle.
I was gonna go Heedle. He's one of the only ones I trust. You know who's due for a goal is Vinny T.
Okay.
Not really. I mean, he scored against.
Scored goals in 2 out of the last 3.
He scored 2 of the last 3 because he had the Philly goal. I forgot about the Montreal goal. No, I'll go. Give me Vinny T. Why not?
Vincenzo?
I think it's 3 of the last 4. I forgot about the Canadians goal. I completely forgot about that.
All right. We got Seattle.
And he scored game 1 of the season against the Penguins. So
I feel like that's a Panarin game.
What, the Penguins?
No, Seattle.
Seattle?
I'll take
Panarin. Go Panarin. All right, so you're going Panarin against Seattle. I got Vinny T against Pittsburgh. Seattle, I'll go. Ooh, Seattle feels like a. Yeah, Seattle does feel like a Panarin game. Seattle. Heedle against Seattle. Heedle's going to score one of these games.
All right. Then the Blackhawks. I don't even know. Go. I'll go Laugh.
All right. I'll go Panarin against Chicago. That is definitely a game Panarin. Panarin's going to score. See, he might score all 3 of these games.
He just starts carrying the team.
Yeah. Well, it's 3 bad teams, so.
Well, he does. He's a bad team merchant.
Yeah. This team's just full of merchants, but we got power play. Well, power play merchants, the team as a whole. I was gonna go laugh against Seattle because he did. I think he scored in the quick shutout game. I think he did because didn't Jones have? I know Jones had the empty netter. I believe.
Jones was empty net goal this year.
I think wasn't it the Seattle game? Let me see.
I don't know
because that was the quick shutout. I think he shut him out that game, right? That was before like all this shenanigans started. That was like their last win, I think, before the 6-game losing streak. No, never mind. Jones scored, but it wasn't an empty netter.
Yeah, I think it was just like a wrist shot.
Yeah, never mind. Because I knew he scored in the third period, but no, it wasn't empty net. Yeah, Laugh did score, though, in the second period.
Was it the one where he's just like sitting at the crease and he just put it in? He was just sitting on the post and there was a pass.
Yeah.
He scored a goal like that recently. When's the last time he scored?
No, it was because it was it was from Panarin. He was like backdoor on Grubauer. I think.
When's the last time he scored?
Who, Laugh?
Yeah.
Or Jones?
The Flame game? Lafreniere.
Let's see.
It's been like 5 games, right?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about it, but the contract, he's kind of slowed down a little bit.
I mean, yeah, it's been like...
Yeah, the Flames. Yeah, first game of the 5-game losing streak was the last time he scored.
Oh, maybe he's got to score to like go on a 5-game win streak then.
So he hasn't scored in 8 games.
8 games?
Yeah.
Wow. When's the last time
Heedle scored? 6 games. I'm sorry, 6.
I was going to say. When's the last time Heedle scored?
Heedle? Oh, God, that was freaking ages ago. I couldn't even tell you. Let's see. Heedle, last time he scored a goal. Oh.
Did he score a goal in November?
No, he didn't. Capitals. October 29th.
Oh, my God. It's been like a month.
Lost 5-3.
It's been over a month.
I think that was the game where there was like crazy score in the first period. It was like 3-2 or something coming out of the first, or 3-1.
Yeah.
Let's see. 5-3. They lost that game. Let's see. Yes. They came out of the first period down 3-1. Heedle scored in the second period to make it 4-3.
Did he score 2 goals in that game?
Just one.
Oh.
Kreider had a power play, and Cooley had the other goal.
Oh, Cooley.
Big day for the kids. Cooley had a goal. Kakko had an assist on that goal. Mancini had an assist on Heedle's goal. Schneider had an assist. Heedle. Talk about playing the young guys. They pretty much carried that game.
Yeah. I mean, they played well in one of the games at West, I think, or I think Kakko scored a goal.
Now, I'm just gonna look this up, and then we can close this out. But when's the last regular season assist Kreider's had? Let's see.
I don't know, probably in April.
Yeah, probably. Let's see. Oh yeah, it was the final game of the regular season. Didn't have to dig too deep for that. 2 assists, Ottawa in that shutout. That was the last time. Little do we know, that was the last time we could be proud of this team in the regular season. Maybe that's it. Just Kreider until once Kreider gets an assist. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why this team's so
right when he gets the assist. I mean,
Mika's probably so upset that Kreider doesn't have an assist yet.
Yeah, that's probably true.
That's probably it.
He's really grabbing the stick harder because
he's grabbing the stick harder because his friend doesn't have an assist.
Kreider doesn't have an apple.
Dude, we've gone to the bottom of 2 big reasons why this Rangers team sucks right now.
Dude, they should hire us as like
hire us. They would be at least 20-4 right now with us.
Yeah,
at least we would have saw this coming from a mile away and made changes.
That'd be cool to be sitting on the bench at MSG.
Yeah, we should
just be on the bench as like vibes guys.
Yeah, just vibes. Yeah, every team needs like a vibes guy. And all right, here it is. Vibes guy. Who's the current vibes guy on the Rangers, and who's like the Jag? Who's just the guy right now?
Just a guy means like they suck?
No, he's just like a guy. He doesn't do anything good, doesn't do anything bad. He's just the guy. He's a Jag.
He's just there.
Sam Carrick. He's a Jag.
Yeah. Maybe I feel like Jimmy Vesey's a vibes guy.
Jim, VZ's a vibes guy, 100%.
Yeah,
I was gonna
everybody.
say
You gotta love Jimmy.
Rempe was a vibes guy last year, but this year not the case.
Yeah, I know.
VZ's a vibes guy. Carrick's a jag. He doesn't do anything.
I agree.
Brzezinski's kind of a jag. It's all the fourth liners. Edstrom's not a guy jag though. Edstrom's solid.
They get a lot of unnecessary hate to fourth liners.
VZ's a fourth line vibes guy.
He is a vibes guy.
He's a vibes guy, and the other guys are just jags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
No. We've gone to the bottom of everything. We figured out the two root causes of the problem. We figured out the team's jag and the vibes guy. So now you can build around them. That's why I think you got to build around the vibes guy. Build around VZ. He's the blue chip piece, and now it's about building around him because then everybody turns in. This team needs vibes. They're gripping the stick too hard. The only thing to get away from that is just bring the good vibes.
I couldn't agree more.
All right, that'll do it. We will talk to you next week. Who the heck knows what happens between now and then? If anything crazy happens, we'll do a podcast on it. If Coach Peter gets fired or they actually make a trade or Drury wakes up or something crazy happens, we'll do a pod on it. Mika and Crowder request to be traded together.
That'd be so funny.
That would definitely be, that might be live stream worthy if that happens. So that'll do it. We'll talk to you soon. As always, thanks for watching.